Good evening, welcome to Bizworld. Plus Malaysia Berhad is not up for sale and Khazanah Nasional Berhad and Employees Provident Fund will remain as owners. Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad, however, said the highway concessionaire will have to reduce the toll rates. He also said Plus would be given a 30-year extension of the toll concession.
In the end, we decided that the best way is not to sell Plus to anybody, but to retain it with Khazanah and KWSP. So they will have to reduce the toll rate by 18%. But please remember that it's 18% fixed at today's rate, which means that in 30 years' time, that 18%, the toll rate will be very, very low indeed.
He was met after the launch of Complex Balai Islam An-Nur, Tenaga Nasional Berhad TNB today. Tun Dr. Mahathir said the decision has been made collectively after the Cabinet reviewed all the biddings offered by Khazanah and other private agencies. The government had previously announced it has received 4 offers to privatise Plus, ranging from 3.5 billion ringgit to 5.3 billion ringgit each, with a different arrangement on the concession period and toll charges. Khazanah holds 51% stake in Plus through UEM Group, while the remaining 49% held by the EPF. Over 10 million ringgit was spent on the first day of the e-Tunai Rakyat initiative. Finance Minister Lim Guan Eng also assured the public that any personal information divulged while applying for the initiative would not be shared with third parties and has put the Personal Data Protection Act 2010 in place.
You are worried about people mining data. Ada orang yang akan menjadi melumbung data tersebut. Jangan bimbanglah. As far as the government is concerned, we are not a commercial enterprise. We won't do that. For any commercial organizations, because I think some of them may be interested in the consumption patterns and use this information. But I think this is a government. We are not running a business, so we won't allow that or any organizations to profit from that.
Meanwhile, the government is ready to top up their allocation for the initiative if the 450 million ringgit initial funding has been used up. As at 10 p.m. last night, all 3 service providers of the e-Tunai Rakyat initiative, namely Boost, GrabPay and Touch and Go e-wallet, approved 320,000 out of the 380,000 applications. Under the initiative, it is expected that about 15 million Malaysians are eligible to claim 30 ringgit beginning yesterday until March 14. Malaysia Airlines is offering more seamless one-stop connectivity between Kuala Lumpur to several major cities in Europe through the expansion of its codeshare agreement with Qatar Airways. Its Group Chief Executive Officer, Captain Izham Ismail, said all codeshare services will be marketed as Malaysia Airlines flights, thus simplifying ticketing to one document issued by the national carrier. Malaysia Airlines already offers fares to Doha, Qatar via an existing codeshare agreement with Qatar Airways and effective January 27th. Through the existing codeshare agreement, Malaysia Airlines passengers can book travels to 10 United States-based destinations, including Boston, New York and Dallas. Meanwhile, Qatar Airways passengers will be able to book Malaysia Airlines flights to 2 additional destinations in Malaysia, namely Cebu and Alor, as well as 2 destinations in Indonesia, Medan and Surabaya. Reducing property prices is the only way to clear the overhang units in the country. CBREWTW Managing Director Fu Ji-Jen said, as at the end of 2019, the residential properties overhang stood at about 35,000 units. As for service apartment, Soho and Sovo commercial property, it was about 20,000 units. Fu estimates it would take 5 years to clear property overhangs in the Klang Valley if there is no major correction of prices. For residential units, there are still hopes for prices to rise, as it could hedge against inflation for the long-term perspective, and that would probably take about 2 years to clear. Thank you for investing your time with us. I'm Arif Subhan. Have a good evening.